Hey everyone, it's Cobra Meister. Outside, Starlight. Go outside. Go outside. Yeah, she's been a little destructive in here, so trying to trying to keep her outside for now. And I'm sorry about the bad lighting. I can't really do anything about it. Um, cause it's I don't know what's going on. It's usually not this bad. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about what I've noticed in Chicken Run. Starlight, go outside. Outside. No, outside. I'm trying to record. Go outside. Ugh. She's gonna be difficult. Hang on. Outside. Thank you. Outside. This is probably gonna be happening throughout this entire video. But yeah, I wanted to talk about some of the things that I've personally noticed in Chicken Run. Now, if you don't know what Chicken Run is, where have you been? Well, actually, a lot of you younger folks probably have never heard of this movie. It's an older movie. It's like early 2000 area. Like, I think it's before 2004. Starlight, go outside. Keep going. Keep going. Outside. Outside. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she is going to be doing this throughout the entire video. Not listening to instructions. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The things that I've noticed in Chicken Run. One is that the chicken yard is like either a prison or some kind of camp that I'm not going to mention the name of. So, yeah, these chickens, like, the only reason you'd feel bad for them is because they're the main characters. The main character herself, Ginger, is always wanting to get out. Yeah, she's always wanting to get out because she knows what happens when they can no longer lay eggs. Basically, it's like, of course, it's just like any other chicken farm. You use the chickens to get eggs. And when they can't lay anymore, then they die. So yeah, like I wish I could show y'all this because it's easier to show y'all than to tell y'all. But if you can't lay anymore, you go to the chopping block, basically. So, yeah, it's a better way to describe this is when all your usefulness, if you were a chicken in this world, when your usefulness is up, you're executed, basically. So, yeah, and the antagonists who are the farm owners, the Tweedies, Mr. and Mrs. Tweedy. We never hear their first names. All we know is their last names. Well, at least I don't think we ever hear their first names. We may, and I just forgot. But yeah, basically, the guy, Mr. Tweedy, he just wants to keep being a regular chicken farmer. While Mrs. Tweedy, on the other hand, is a greedy. I want to say I'm just gonna go ahead and say she is a greedy Karen, and it's a good example on why I've stopped looking for a woman, because you never know who you're gonna get. I know there's a lot of good women out there, but there's also a lot of bad ones. So basically, yeah, she's a greedy Karen who wants nothing but riches. So what does she do? Well, she looks through this magazine or brochure. She finds uh she finds the listing or whatever you want to call it for a chicken pie machine. We don't know what this is until later. But all we see is this giant machine, like a factory machine. Yeah, basically factory equipment, which can't come cheap. And she's over complaining about being poor, which, what's wrong with being poor, you may ask? Well, when you lose your head to greed, you'll do anything for money. So what she does is she orders the machine and she makes her husband, Mr. Tweedy, assemble it. That couldn't have been easy. And for him to get it done overnight or whatever, he must have been exhausted. Like, completely exhausted. So she's basically the abusive housewife who wants nothing but money off this guy. And he's saying, we've always been egg farmers, his father and all the fathers. So she wants to come in and change it up. Change everything up just because she thought she was marrying a rich guy. So what does she want to do? Just get rid of the chickens because apparently this guy, through her eyes, is losing his mind. Because he sees all the chickens, they're smart. Like, chickens are even smart in real life. But, of course, they're not gonna be trying to find every solution to escape, but, um, either way, I know I've been basically revolving all this around Mrs. Tweedy, but that's just because she sets the biggest example of what this world has gone to. Like, if you haven't noticed, everything is basically being run by greed, especially here in the US. Like, this is, I believe this was some kind of warning about how this world was going to end. I mean, even like I've even seen what I'm gathering as a warning in Wall-E and Ferngully. But I'll talk about those movies in different videos. Right now we're still on Chicken Run. So, yeah, she gets the machine, the guy assembles it, he asks what it is, it's revealed that it's a chicken pie machine. And yeah, the chickens are just having a party with their new rookie, Rocky Rhodes. Every time I hear his name, I always think of the Rocky Road ice cream. I don't know why, but still. So yeah, and I should get more on Rocky. So basically, when all hope was lost, get Rocky flies into their coop. Uh, they think he's a flying rooster when in reality he's just from the circus. And they think our hope is not lost. We just seen this. We just seen this rooster fly in over the fence. They didn't ask how. They didn't think that since they can't fly, that maybe he can't really fly either. Starlight, go outside. Outside, Starlight. Outside. Go on. I'm trying not to yell at her. But anyway, yeah, they don't ask how he flew. They don't ask what was it, what made you fly. They just say he's a professional flying rooster. So, when it's revealed that he can't fly, like, I know I'm skimming over the whole workout scenes and all that. Um But yeah, actually, I shouldn't skip over one. I should go right to when he saves Ginger. They all applaud him. Even the old man, Grandpa Fowler, applauds him or congratulates him. And then he leaves. He knows he's about to get caught. I mean, he even leaves the rest of the poster that Ginger picked up. And yeah. I mean, haven't you noticed that this whole story revolves around um, a greedy dictator, just about? Because that's basically what it is. I mean, it's after he leaves and they find out what he did, he lied to them, that Ginger finally asks Fowler, the old rooster, what is the RAF? He reveals it's the Royal Air Force, and he brings out all these relics or whatever, and then they begin to make a... I don't want to call it a plane, because planes' wings don't flap. No, I think there was one that kind of had flapping wings. No. No, actually, I'm thinking of something else. But either way, they make a plane, and then they start to begin their escape. And I should mention that the funniest part I found was when the rats, like, we see the rats. Yeah, we see these rats are on occasion throughout this movie. The rats basically are... So rats are pretty well scavengers, right? They go through your house and grab things. They'll even chew up wiring and bring it to their nest. But these rats are... Apparently their job is to sneak into the Tweety home and get stuff. And yeah, when I saw them sneaking into the barn with the gnomes over their heads, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then Mr. Tweedy says, the chickens. Oh, gnomes now. Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh. Now he thinks the gnomes are onto him. But yeah, anyway, yeah, they get the parts, they build the plane, or what they call the crate. It's like an airship, more likely. So they get it all finished. Fowler's supposed to fly it. He eventually does decide to fly it. They head for the ramp, and Mr. Tweedy kicks it over. Then I don't know what happens, but then Mrs. Tweedy enters into the picture. This is when we see her true colors. And now she's obviously a true believer in it now, but she still denies it. She's just focused on killing these chickens. It's like, okay, she is totally looking like, you know who I'm thinking about. He was the worst ruler of Germany. Because all she can think about is killing the chickens at this point. And I'm like, really? Miss Tweedy? Like, honestly, I was kind of satisfied to see that she had actually cut the light string and fell into the machine. Because at this point, she was being a monster. it's like I agree with. You're not born a monster. You're made a monster by something. In her case, she was made a monster by greed. You see, the greed is a reoccurring thing here. Like, I'm not gonna say the name of the camp that I'm thinking of, but yeah, the chicken yard there was totally this kind of camp. Like, they got guard dogs, they got the guy patrols frequently, and they've got, like, when they line up, like, apparently they're trained to line up when it comes to the egg counts. And I'm like, what the heck? They got these chickens know to line up. Like, what is going on here? Okay, and I'm running out of time for this episode, but I'm like, seriously, there's something wrong with these people. Like, this movie is definitely implying that greed drives people to do bad things. And this is clearly like some kind of evil military camp type thing. So, if you haven't gathered what I'm getting at here, like, you may have noticed that a reoccurring thing that I talk about is greed. And that's what this okay, that's what the main villain's like that's what the main villain, Mrs. Tweedy, is is being driven by here. So that's why it always pops up. So, like, I don't know what else I can say here to keep this more friendly, but this is like the British versus the Germans type of thing here. Even though the Tweedies are not German, Fowler and the chickens are obviously British, and Mrs. Tweedy is acting like the evil German general that I'm not going to mention his name. I'm not going to name drop him. And Mr. Tweedy is basically like the movie Idiot to her. Like, he sees what the chickens are doing, but she doesn't believe him. So that's all I've got to talk about for this one, and that's also all the time I've got for this one. So thank y'all for watching. The conclusion is definitely this movie is implying greed is a bad thing. So I will keep y'all up to date with other types of content and other theory videos and stuff. And thank y'all for watching. Bye.